Yo. 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 Yo, yo, yo. Marseille ended up winning. Let's go. Dortmund's up 4-0. Just ended. Chelsea won 3-0. Leverkusen beat City. Ooh. Juve came back and beat Bodo Glimt. Benfica beat Ajax. Dang, man. Crazy. Alright, dudes. Welcome to another stream. This is going to be the last stream you see from me for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday as well. So potentially up to 5 days we're going to be gone. So we have some videos we're going to be making. We'll make a Black Friday one to put up tomorrow. So that gives you guys about 48 hours to kind of club stock. We'll make a BPM video as well. That will most likely come out Friday, showing you guys kind of with the increase of managers value and the decrease of some League SBC cards, kind of how I've been doing BPM with that. And yeah, maybe a third. We'll see. Been doing some special card trading too, boys. Look at this. This is why we club stock special cards and we flip them. Gomez, I'm assuming it was for an Evo, went extinct, so we sold them for $29.5. Didn't want to sell them at the $30K because I don't know what EA looks at in terms of banning accounts. I didn't want to risk it. We got them for basically discard, and we sold them for that. A bunch of these were just flipping. So a bunch of these we picked up for super cheap. Club stocked. Yeah, that easy. We cleared most of our transfer lists, so we'll have plenty of room to work with. We have a bunch of managers selling, like I said before. We'll kind of go over that in a bit. We'll do some BPM on stream. But yeah, dudes, let's get started. Let's do the dailies and go from there. Alright, what do we have? This guy. Guess we can put all the MLS ones in too, if they're untradeable. Keep Bundesliga 2. Just gonna put the Serie A ones in as well. Do we have any more leaks for Thunderstruck promo? I feel like I haven't seen much in the past 24 hours. Best of Team of the Week. So as of 18 minutes ago, loads of cards coming. Best of Team of the Week starts tomorrow. Best of Promos starts Thursday. Thunderstruck starts Friday. 100 plus special cards in packs, including all 85 plus Team of the Weeks. Dang. Reeton to come as a flashback SBC. An Icon Max 91 upgrade is coming as an SBC soon. I feel like that could move inform prices. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now. Not seeing anything past that. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, we'll chuck in silver players. Should have some low end ones. Yeah, the championship and MLS ones can go. Daily common gold upgrades, daily rare. We'll pop this one real quick. Foot account said to avoid 2 weeks over Black Friday and pick them up as they will rise after, not during. It's probably not a bad shout. What are they at right now? Switch, what's up, buddy? Alright, get all those gold commons in there. Five. We've dropped a little closer to 11K. Because what happened last year? Last year they were up in price before, dropped during, but then right after went crazy or something. Again, for me, I'm most likely holding most of my supply till, honestly, maybe team of the year. If they go to like 15 to 20K a piece, I might sell before, but I've had them for ages. We've been getting all the low end ones each week since the start of the game. If I'm ever running low on coins, maybe we get rid of some, but with special card flipping, BPM, League SBCs, I feel like the waiting game is the best way to go about it. You could get 85, 86 for 18 of the weeks for 11K on Black Friday last year. Thanks for the videos and live streams, my man. At first, I didn't understand. I have some advice for others that made a big difference to me. Forget what you know about BPM. Essentially, that wastes time. Hey, appreciate it, man. I mean, I feel like that's true with a lot of things, right? You go in with an expectation of either you know how to do this or there's no other way. You learn something and it opens your eye up to something that you thought never existed or was possible. Dude, this is coming from someone who was not hating on BPM last year, but we made such good coins on flipping silver lib and suds last year and the year before, and technically 3 years in a row, because we had the lib league SBC that we went absolute wild on in, what was it, 22? Yeah, last year I did not do like any BPM whatsoever. I was not clowning on it, but I was like, it is well worth your time just to focus on the premium if you get good at the lib and sud flipping, which still was probably good advice. But dude, the value in BPM, especially with the Pale Tools spamming that you can do, if you understand the value per pack, it changes your mindset when it comes to not only just a way to make coins, but just a menu grind in general. It opens up so many doors. Finally selling my Brazilian managers I bought at 200. Hope I don't get coin wiped. You just have a few in your club, right? You didn't go unassigned on them? You only get a few done. A mouse helped me go from 4 Mixed League SBCs to 10 tonight. I got an icon, Van Nistelrooy. Nice. I heard you're the biggest Barca fan in Wisconsin, Mumbo. I'm the biggest Barca fan in Wisconsin. What? Did something happen that I'm not aware about? Do you mean Marseille? Am I the biggest Marseille fan? Today I am. You've been unassigned for like 10 days? Dang, man. Imagine they wipe you on that. And you don't even make a crazy amount of coins. Make like 50K. Dang, how many do you think you picked up? Brother, I packed Mbappe and R9 from League SBCs. I believe you. People in chat won't believe you, though. So you should post it in the Discord. Very quickly we'll be able to solve that. 400, so about 800K before tax. They're 2K on PC. Nice. Now good luck selling to people on PC. They have value, so they'll eventually sell, but it'd be funny if just no one bought them. Would have believed the cap if you said you packed R9. I feel like for people to, especially when it comes to League SBCs, you gotta, like, if you're trying to rage bait or make it feel like you actually pack someone and you're trolling, it has to be somewhat believable. It can't be like the best cards. It has to be like some middle ground. Carlos, check the Discord. I am looking at the pack section right now. I see an untradeable Mbappe. W, man. It's packed Chiellini from the La Liga Premium pack. Nice. Packed R9 Mbappe and my Happy Meal sounds more believable. Hey, that's not a bad place to get it. Also, remember to do your guys' daily 83 plus times 3s. All you need is golds for it. Gets you some tradable packs as well. Make sure to get those done. All right, daily common gold time. Alright, we're going to go to some BPM spamming after this then. Sound good, guys? We'll walk through kind of the newer way I've been doing BPM recently. And then we'll do a huge BPM spam session. Look at the team section. Nice. I had to squint a little bit to see that. The A3 times 3s are insane indeed. Got Vinny and 2 other walkouts. Are you guys going to hold those or you're going to open them? Or a little of both? I'm going to... see, it's like things like that would make sense to hold for Team of the Year, but I feel like would be fun to open in promos leading up to Team of the Year. We'll figure it out. 1, 2. Yeah, I know the true answers hold them. Plus, I'm going to be gone. So you guys won't see me anyways. Until Sunday. Besides videos, that is. Yeah, as of right now, 2 videos planned. Black Friday one coming out tomorrow. And then we'll have a BPM one on Friday. I think what I'm going to do, so we'll have a Wednesday upload and a Friday upload. That way the Wednesday one people can watch it up to Friday for kind of Black Friday investments. And then the BPM one will be nice because people will watch that on Friday when the promo starts. People will watch it throughout the weekend. And then when I get back, we can get right back into the grind. You want good pack luck on Team There? Do not hold any packs, else you will have Mumbo's luck and pack only a lady goalkeeper. Dude, I'm telling you boys right now, this is going to be our best Team of the Year yet. You think we've had crazy pulls before. Team of the Year Mbappe. Team of the Year Ronaldo a few years ago. Nothing compared to what we're going to get this year. We're taking things up a notch. We're going to be built different, that's for sure. Do you think the method would work just as well if I don't do BPM? What method in particular, Kevin? Or your BF pack luck will be bad? If I don't pack a Team of the Year, I might riot. Rage quit the game for sure. Team of the Year Mbappe, you're not sway. We literally packed Team of the Year Mbappe. Do you guys not remember this? I know it was crazy that we did because we never played games with him because he wasn't a Sunderland player. I had more games with silver Sunderland players than I did Team of the Year Mbappe last year. Remember, I packed him on my birthday. I was spamming packs on Pale Tools and we got him. But was it tradable? No, my bad. My, like, 8 million coin player or whatever it was wasn't tradable, so it doesn't count as good pack luck. My bad, Carlos. I'm flipping lib cards while doing mixed league upgrades and premium mix. Oh, yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. The benefit of BPM along with that is if you're taking BPM long term, like we recommend, and we'll walk through some different ways to do it, now you have additional value because managers are up. So not only do you have the League SBC cards that have value, you have like the Saudi, the Romanian League, all these other ones that have dropped by like 50 by now. They've gone a little cheaper. So your ability to not do BPM and pick them up on bid is easier than ever. And you can flip them. So that's good. The Lib and Sud is perfect because they dropped in price more than they were the previous week. So now they're more obtainable in terms of picking them up for cheaper to where you can justify using tradables in with your untradables because of how good the Jumbo Gold Pack is. Especially the golds. If you can pick up gold libs for 1,200 and under, you're cooking, man. How do you sell a card like that anyway? Gotta keep it. If you're Zwei, I feel like you have to sell those things. Because doesn't he run his club so poorly? Alright, you guys ready for some BPM? We're going to run through kind of our new guide and how we're going to do it now. We're going to do like a slight walkthrough in terms of like prices and stuff, things to pay attention to. We're going to talk about some filters to take a look at, especially League SBC related stuff. And then we'll just get into straight absolute spamming. Does that sound good? Some big streamers are so bad with coins. Zwei and Boar Legends, for example. I mean, also, too, those guys, they're content creators that are based on personality and playing the game and running like RTGs and making their team better. If you're Boris, you get Acuna as well. That becomes like your main vocal point. So you really don't have to be good with coins or grind because they play the game enough and they enjoy the cards enough and they're good enough with the cards they have. And then if you're Zwei and you have now 8 mil or whatever Mbappe was, it's crazy. He really does, but his videos are hilarious, so it's worth it. True. All right, let's get started. Let me just double check real quick. Let me hit with a test to make sure this is good. All right. Test to make sure. All right, we're going to record real quick on here. We're going to walk through kind of the new way I've been doing BPM, just kind of some fluctuations in prices, managers, stuff like that, filters that can potentially pop up, and then we're going to go switch it to Pale Tools, and then we'll just chill on Pale Tools and spam packs with you guys to show you me packing the things and how it's good in bulk. All right, let's get started. How should we start the video? Should we start down here? Yeah, let's start down here. Flex the packs real quick. All right, let's get it. Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Mumble Elite. Welcome back to another video. And today is going to be our how to grind bronze pack method. We have a video on how to do bronze pack method long term. If you've missed that, this is going to be kind of like an addition to that. So I highly recommend you watch that first. I'll link that in the description if you guys want to give that a look. But yeah, dudes, we're going to walk through it right away. So if you do enjoy, smack the like button, subscribe if you're new. Pack saving for Team of the Year is already going well. We're almost on 150 of those packs. We're going to have probably over 500 packs saved by Team of the Year. Let me show you my transfer list. Don't look at these specials. We have a special card method that's absolutely cooking recently. But we are not here for that. We are here for bronze pack method, and specifically bronze pack items and what their prices are now. So if you've been paying attention to the market in recent weeks, it's mainly been the Libin Suds being extremely high. We saw things like the Saudi and Romanian League that were also like sometimes 300 to 400 coins. But what this caused the market to do is people spam BPM, and it made managers basically have no value. There was very few managers, even French and Brazil ones, that would sometimes struggle to sell for 200 coins. What this did is if you weren't packing Libin Sud cards, or you weren't packing the very specific League SBC cards you needed to get, people were upset pack to pack with the coins they were making on it. Well, good news, it distributed a little bit more recently. By the time you're watching this, this is going to be the Friday of the Black Friday promo, so Thunderstruck. If card prices have changed, make sure you guys are paying attention to open bids and the buy nows. We're going to show you filters so you can take advantage of that fully. But look, these managers were going for basically nothing before, and now we got a bunch of things selling for 200. We have things going for thousands. Uruguay's up. That one's still selling. We have some really good coins in there. So first and foremost, the thing I want you guys to do before you get into BPM is we're going to do just a market assessment for things that should have value and what you can pay attention to make coins on in terms of whether in the bronze pack or whether you want to kind of trade and flip it. So let's start with, for example, Libin Suds. Libin Suds is a great one because we know people like to do the premium mix, but this is usually the stopping point of them doing it. These cards were almost 2,000 coins at times. Weeks ago when we first got League SBCs. Now these are down to about 1,200, selling relatively quickly. If we go to 1.1, they're extinct. But I bet if we did open bids, you could win a bunch for 1,000 to 1,100 in lazy list for 1,300 to 1,400, specifically the bronze rares. So if we get a supply of more bronzes and silvers like we usually do on Saturdays with the prime bronze player pack and then the prime silver players pack, that can be a really good opportunity to pick those up. But also, too, if you notice day-to-day fluctuations, it may be the case that earlier in the day, so let's say like 3 to 4 hours before new content, you have prices of these cards a little bit lower than they are maybe 4 to 5 hours after new content. If you can take advantage of kind of that daily fluctuation, even if it's a few hundred coins, if you're saving these in your bronze pack, storing them in your club, rather than selling them right to the market the second you get your bronze pack open, you're going to make way more coins in the long run. It also gives you the ability to lazy list them for more than the current buy now too. And you don't have to worry about having as many cards on your transfer list. You can keep opening in bulk. And that's kind of going to be the main point of this video. We can show you some more filters here in a second, but the main point of this video is going to be to do things in bulk. A lot of people make the mistake with bronze pack method of opening a bronze pack, a single bronze pack, wanting to make profit on this exact one. And what this does is it causes them to list a lot of the cards in here because they think they need to sell these right now or they're going to run out of coins. That is not the case at all, especially if you've watched our first BPM video. You know how good long-term a lot of this stuff is. But just from quick sell value, we already get 274 coins back here. We got a Super League card that we can sell for 250. So if we listed that right now, which I probably shouldn't have listed, I just said I wasn't gonna. We'll list this dupe Serie A card. It'll eventually sell for 200. Those things alone basically got our coins back in this pack, and we got 2 more players that we can put into things like bronze upgrades, or maybe hold for a daily SBC that could send some things potentially up. There's plenty of options, but the whole goal with spamming BPM in bulk, and we're going to switch to Pale Tools to show me doing it in kind of live time what that looks like, is allows you to open packs more quickly. The more you open, the more value you're getting in your club. The longer you do this, the more packs you open, the better off you are. Because how many times are you opening a pack, sitting there comparing price on every single item, checking to see if you can make your coins back on it, then you stop after a few. When you switch to Pale Tools and kind of just spam it in bulk, that's when it really starts paying off. So what I've started doing is I'll just store everything that's not a dupe. If it's a dupe League SBC card, I'll usually list these things for 200 coins. If it's a Prem La Liga, if it's a Bundesliga Serie A, if it's a League One Eredivisie, that's usually the price I'll go for eventually. But you'll notice I have a ton of Libin Suds we're going to start getting duplicates of. Right now we're having a lot of Super League cards that we're not getting dupes of. That's fine. We're going to either use them in the League SBC later to make more coins on the back end, or we're going to sell it on the back end later in the evening if I have space on my transfer list. But yeah, this is essentially the start of the method, and now let me show you what this looks like kind of live in terms of doing this on Pale Tools. Did that make sense what we were talking about? I kind of, that last minute or so, did we lose like track of what we were discussing? Because I mentioned kind of saving things for the back end, doing them in bulk. I talked about what? League SBC price. Talked about daily fluctuations with the Live-In Sud, things like that. Did I miss anything there? Or is there anything you guys would want more clarity on? If not, we'll switch to Pale Tools in a minute. I should probably show a filter for the lower end cards, though. That'd probably be helpful. Yeah, let's show that. Let's go to maybe Saudi and Romania. Think it sounded fine? Okay. Sweet. Covered all the bases? Sweet. All right. Okay. All right. Before we go to Pale Tools, I actually said I was going to show you more filters. Here's a perfect example. Remember when I said Superliga, aka the Romanian League, last time we've had these were like 300 to 400 coins. If we look now, everything's selling within minutes for 200 coins. If we go to 250, you're going to get a lot of sales by the end of the hour. But you'll notice there's a ton of potential open bids that you can win. So if you wanted to, as a trading tip, as a way to club stock mixed league cards, if you're wanting to do this maybe before you do BPM, this is my way of doing it so I get a lot of dupes right away. I club stock fully at the lowest price possible under the current buy now. That way I can make coins in the moment if I choose to sell them, or I can get a full base to do League SBCs even before we start opening the bronze pack. So if we go in here right now, look at all these cards. It's going to fluctuate in terms of how long out you can do open bids. We were just looking a minute ago, and it looked like there's a ton more on the market. But this works with the silvers too. You can just place a bunch of bids on here. If you win it, sweet. You can sell it for 200 coins very quickly to make 50 coins a card. We're going to list them for 250 eventually, though. We want to make 100 plus coins per card, and or we want to save coins on as many cards as possible when we do the mixed. I know this is a BPM video, but when we talk about the mixed league SBC and doing it, a lot of the times people are buying out the cards. And if they're buying out every single card, you might be spending 50 to 100 more coins than you necessarily need to. And that doesn't seem like that big of a deal if it's one or two, but if we're talking about all 11 cards, we're talking about 5 to 10 runs a day. That is thousands of coins per section. That is tens of thousands of coins in League SBC runs daily that you might be missing out on. And that could be the difference between you doing things for profit, doing things for pretty much break even in huge bulk, or doing things for as little of a loss as possible. So if you're someone struggling to keep your coins, if you're looking for a way to make coins on the low end, this is a fantastic way of doing this. You can do it the Saudi League too. It works really well. Right now, the Bundesliga B and the Serie B and the Bundesliga 2 are a little bit cheaper than that. The rares have more value. If you can find filters with these, it might change by the time Thunderstruck's out. But let me show you what I do live with these. If we go to Bundesliga 2, I go to 200 coins. You're going to notice most things aren't selling for 200 coins. We could do 150 bids just as a club stock. Just know if you bid 150, you're getting as cheap as possible. Really great to do the SBC with, but there's no guarantee that this will sell if you list it to the market. So what I like doing instead is I like going to bronze rares and silver rares. These are the two that you can usually make a little bit more coins on. So if we go here, look, boom, we just won one for 200 coins. How much does this go for? Looks like we could get it for 350 because besides bronze rares, the next lowest rare someone can get is a silver rare, which the minimum you can list it by now for is 350. So these should easily go for 300 to 350. If you want to sit there and mass bid in bulk on bronze rares, that's a fantastic way you can make coins too. But another reason why I show you these things before we get into the BPM spam, these are the sort of things I want you running in your mind when you're opening bronze packs. If you're not someone actively doing the mixed league, you might not know the price of a rare in this league versus the price of the common. If you're someone who's just seeing, oh, I just sold the Bundesliga 2 card that was a bronze common for 200 and it didn't even sell quickly, let me just list this one for 200 too, and you notice it sold quickly, you might be like, okay, I'm just going to list these for 200 and we get the quick coins. You might be missing out, again, another 50, 100, 150 coins per card, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're doing BPM in bulk, thousands of packs throughout the week, tens of thousands throughout the year, if you're listing these cards for less than they could be going for, you're missing out on a ton of potential more coins. So if there's one thing I want to hit home to you guys, it's always kind of pay attention to the price of stuff. Same thing with the managers. We can sit here and come up with a million filters on managers. I'll show you just one real quick, and I promise we'll hop to Pale Tools. But we know Mexico's up right now because I believe it's an objective or something is out for them. So if we go to Mexico and we look at the Mexico managers, before you could struggle to sell a Mexico manager for 200 coins, and just because we club stocked every single manager we got instead of quick selling them, storing every single one because eventually these will go up, we had a bunch of Mexico managers in our club. We had a bunch of Uruguay managers in a club. We had a bunch of Brazil ones. We had a bunch of different things that had more or less value as the time went on. And you can just pick up on that as fluctuation trading. So here's a perfect example. I just sniped this one for 2.4. We could most likely list this one for 2.8 and it would sell by the end of the hour. Now, is this guaranteed coins if I list it for 2.8? Could she drop heavily before the end of the hour? Sure, but what you could do too is snipe in an even better position. We just looked to see how much these were going for. If we said, okay, these are going for X amount of coins, let's say 2.6 relatively quickly, let me sit on like 2.2 and anything I snipe under that is just guaranteed coins. You could set up a filter like that. You could do open bids as well. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of cards listed on the market that you could potentially win open bids. Depending on the manager, depending on the league, it could have more or less value. That's another thing too. If you snipe one and you notice the main league that this woman managers from Mexico are like the NWSL, but you notice you sniped one, it has the Premier League on it, that might go for even more coins than this one by maybe 500 to 1,000. You never know, so you always want to check those things. But now to Pale Tools, and let's see how we spam in bulk, boys. I got a question. I want to prepare for Black Friday. You think the prices of League SBC cards will drop or will they rise? Yes and no. I think different things will do different things, and I'll explain that. We're going to make a video that'll go up tomorrow in more vivid detail that will help answer that question better. Long story short, if a card's needed for a Black Friday SBC, a flash SBC, there might be moments of times where it's extremely expensive, and then you're going to have maybe an hour later where it's back to worth nothing. That's just the way it usually goes. Does that make sense? The way I answered that? It's like you could have a silver rare right now that's, let's say, Spanish from La Liga, and you struggle to even put it in, sell it to people doing the Prem La Liga because they don't even sell for 350. But if an SBC comes out for a flash for half an hour where you need a full squad of 11 players. All of them need to be rare. You need at least, let's say, a 75 rating on the squad. But you don't want to put all gold rares in because gold rares are bare minimum 600, 650 coins. So a lot of people start looking at those silver rares. You might have bare minimum all those cards you had double in coins, triple in coins. Because as those gold rares go up, so do those silvers. It's things like that that make you a ton of coins when it comes to the club stocking aspect of Black Friday. And when it comes to the way we're doing it with League SBCs, just being smart with holding things from League SBCs. I'm struggling to do the championship MLS squad in League SBCs because I do not have a lot of high raid silvers. How have you avoided this? Club stocking. I just club stock for that. Nothing else. It's just constantly buying the gold commons, whether I'm bid for 300 or whether that be buy now for 350, get one of each in the club, get like 20 to 30 of them. And then for the high-end silvers, doing the same thing. You'll see I have a whole transfer targets of basically MLS cards, silver rare and silver commons, that were bidding min-price on a lot of the high-rated ones. Once we've used it, we can send more to the club. We just rinse and repeat that process over and over. The reason why this works really well is because unlike the Saudi League, Romanian League, sometimes the bronze rares that we showed you with Bundesliga 2 and Serie B, these don't sell as well. So if I'd pick up a bid on these, try to sell them for 350, I'd be out of luck. If I tried to bid 150 on a 70-plus MLS, even trying to get it to sell for 200 would be a struggle. So instead of trying to club stock and then flip these to make coins on the additional cards you have, I just do the opposite and I just get them as cheap as possible and always have them in the club ready to go. That will help you a millionfold. If you're someone who's trying to make coins on each section of it or justify a certain amount of coins being made before you hop into it, just spend more time on another filter, whether that's BPM, whether that's your Saudi League bidding, your Romanian League bidding, whatever it is you got to do. All right. All right, dudes, we are into the Pale Tools portion of this stream. So what you're going to see now is me eventually going to do some League SBCs, but for right now, we're going to just spam BPM because I want to show you what this looks like in real time. We'll talk through the first few, but you'll just notice how much spamming actually goes into this. So obviously we're going to run into some dupes here. If I check to see if some of them have value, I might see if a manager has value, but I'm quick selling a lot of that stuff. And now right now for me, ooh, Saudi League card already, W. Right now for me, one of the things I'm going to hold off doing at the moment, and this is something that some of you are going to run into, if you get League 2 or La Liga Hypermotion bronzes, there's a good chance these will sell for 200 coins. A ton will sell for 200 coins. But if you notice you constantly have a full transfer list and you have the coins to be spamming BPM and you're sick of having a full transfer list, you got two options. You can either, one, not list these right now, just quick sell them in the meantime, or you can list them once you get a full transfer list. If you notice they didn't sell, you just chuck it back in the club. Not chuck it back in the club because you'd already have it. You would just quick sell it after it didn't sell for the listing. You just do that over and over. I do that with managers. I do that with those leagues. At the end of the night, something I'll do too is we'll go in and we'll go to my club. So I'll do Club Analyzer. I'll see how many Lib and Sud bronzes I still have. I'll usually sell these off by the end of the evening. You know, I said before, like I'll sell my Libs and Suds 4 to 5 hours after new content. This is kind of how I do that with League SBC cards too. So I have 10 Libs and 18 Suds. So if I want to go in right now, just from additional things I've been getting from BPM, we'll go through these leagues. Again, it's not a dupe we're worrying about, but if I want to get rid of this, I can get 1,400 coins for it now. Looks like these can go for 1,400, so I could list those. Same way I could go to the other leagues and be like, okay, I'm going to play gameplay. I'm going to hop on Call of Duty. I'm going to go to bed. I don't have a full transfer list. What can I do? Let me go to my League 2 cards. Let me go to all my bronzes and list all my bronzes. And then the next day, whatever didn't sell, I can relist each hour, get more and more sales, and then whatever didn't sell after that, I can put back into my club to either sell later or use for more League SBC runs. Either way, you're benefiting. On the front end, you're making coins on selling them from the bronze pack. You're just waiting to sell them later in the day. And And then on the other end of that, you're making coins on it from the tradable packs and League SBCs and the untradable packs that are going to get you more League SBC cards that you get to put into more League SBCs that will give you tradable and untradable packs. You just rinse and repeat that over and over. Another thing to mention too, I am saving a lot of my bronze rares. So if we look at my bronze rares right now, I'm on 618. The way I go about bronze upgrades right now, and you'll notice I'll start being wasteful with some bronze rare dupes. The reason I do that is I have lowest quick sell value, I have ignored player positions, I have non-important nations only, and non-important leagues only. So it starts with the untradables. So a lot of bronze common untradables, some bronze rares untradables from off leagues. Then it goes to my lowest bronzes, which is bronze commons from a quick selling perspective. So the lowest quick sell value starts with the low end bronze commons. Then it works its way up. You'll notice I'll eventually get to the point where half of this might be bronze rares. So right now it's a lot of, again, untradeable bronzes, but then we have some low end bronzes there. If I get to the next one, we'll see we're already to 56s, or to 60s, or to 63. So the next one might have some bronze rares in it. Boom, perfect example. So this last one, I made a few bronze upgrades there. I have 1, 2, 3 cards here that if I put this in a bronze upgrade right now, probably wouldn't matter much. But again, during Black Friday, if we get a SBC that comes out where a lot of top nations are being used, and you need 11 rares, and you can use a lower rating, so you don't necessarily need just golds, you don't necessarily need just silvers. This is the type of card that might go to 1,000 plus, that right now you'd struggle to sell for 200 coins. If you listed them in bulk, they might sell. Has a quick sell value of 44, but if I submit in this SBC, I make an upgrade pack, I get some League SBC cards from it potentially. I can keep the grind process going to that next level of getting all those. But I'm mainly trying to keep them for Black Friday and other daily SBCs, just because you never know what might go up. Hopefully that made sense. USA Manager. Again, we can sell these right now, or we can store them in the club later. For the sake of the stream, I want as much transfer space as possible, so I'm just going to store all those managers. And you'll notice, again, the less I'm checking those prices, the more I'm spamming the packs, the better. This might feel like it's counterintuitive, but I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can do. Because the more packs you open, the more value you're getting into your club. Let alone coins, but the value is what I feel like people are missing out on. So we got 2 Saudi dupes there, so for that alone gets us the pack back. Again, same thing with the MLS and Championship. If you list these, especially the bronze rares, they'll eventually sell. But you'll notice the MLS, the Championship, the League 2, the Hypermotion bronzes, those are the hardest ones to get to sell. And if you constantly are doing BPM, your full transfer list will be those eventually. So kind of keep that in mind. League 1 and Eredivisie cards sell perfectly fine. I get a bunch of sales for those for 200. So if you start getting dupes from there, you should be good. All right, we're starting to get some dupe managers. League 2, I'm just going to quick sell. And boom, we keep it going. Also pay attention to how many coins we have too. I had special cards selling before. We should have no special cards left on the list. Another lib card, or sud card. I'm not going to sell it right now. We're going to see how many we got in bulk later. And then we'll sell them together when we have transfer of space. French manager, let's go. I'll usually check a few pages to see what the lowest buy nows are and then list it for that. Doesn't have to be the lowest buy now on the market. You don't need it to sell instantly. You just want to keep things moving. I've opened all packs. I want to save some for Team of the Year. What is your way of wanting to save so far? Like, have you watched our League SBC grinds where some packs might feel worth it to you versus others not? Or are you in square one and you don't know what to save at all? Yo, Mubba, how you doing? Silver upgrades? Spam and BPM, brother. Spam and BPM. We've done over 2,000 bronze upgrades. Oh, silver upgrades. We've done a ton of silver upgrades too. From BPM spamming all the way through. Mixed League, Premium, Mixed League as well. Those give you a bunch of untradable silvers from off leagues that we put into then silver upgrades as well. Let me solve this real quick. No, can you show me the filter, please? And oh, yeah, I can show you the filter. Silver upgrade. So I do 65 to 74. Untradables only. Low to high. Silvers. Ignore player positions. Not important leagues only. Don't you never get the problem that you run out of the 300 SBCs every 24 hours? Not really. I mean, I feel like most days I'm doing about 100 bronze upgrades. Maybe like 150 to 200 on the best day. And then we're doing 5 to 10 league SBC runs. So from those numbers alone, we might get close to that. But we're also hopping to console as well. So we're making some stuff on there too. Because the grind's to the point right now where you can do a crap ton on a day-to-day basis. But even if you're going to degenerate levels, most people won't have that issue that you're talking about. It'll be once we start getting things like exchanges, that'll start mattering more and more. So another thing you can do as well, just a quick note, if you get dupes like this where you're getting multiple players, some people will, instead of quickselling those, they'll go into their club and make a bronze upgrade with those. A way you can do it is if they're in your unassigned right now. I go to my bronze upgrade. For me, it's hit D, but it's use duplicate players. You can pop in the players that are in your unassigned, and I can put the other cards in my club. So if you're not wanting to waste a bunch of dupes, instead of quick selling them, you want to make another SBC with them, that's one way you can do it. Yeah, pay attention too to my coins throughout this. I don't know how long we're going to do this for, but like you'll notice if you have hundreds of thousands of coins, we're not moving hundreds of thousands of coins worth of value there from time to time. So for most people, there should be little to no fear of this, making your coins get to zero before you start selling on stuff or get into league SBCs. Uh, 635 bronze upgrades. What's everyone else on? I am on 2,268. And then I've done 421 silver upgrades and 259 gold upgrades. So we're in a good spot. Also, too, for SBC templates, the way I have gold upgrades set to just being gold commons right now in the off leagues, I could probably put that into the 83 plus times 3. I could probably put in the edit SBC template and just put in gold upgrade in each of these. We'll see how that goes. Because these you just need golds. So kind of two birds with one stone. Boom. And then almost that other one. Silver pack, W. Let's restore all that. Yeah, bronze upgrades, especially with BPM, is where I feel like you see where there's levels to this. So, another thing too, I'll keep saying another thing too when I notice things. There's only so many of this guy in the market. Here's one of those that might take a bit to sell, these for 200. Because a lot of people will just mass bid 150 and pick these up and put them in their club for the SBC. But if there's very few cards, in particular for a player, usually those sell a lot faster. Because believe it or not, people are still looking at SBC solutions to get stuff done. Not everyone's just spamming open bids as cheap as possible or BPM in to fill their club. But the nice thing, too, about just storing managers before looking at their value and then looking at the managers that are dupes. Let's say it's the case that this guy was worth like 1,500 right now, and I had no idea. I know already I have at least another one in my club of that exact same manager, and then maybe a few more from that same nation that I could also sell. That's what happened with the Mexico one. in Uruguay. We saw Mexico and Uruguay were up due to dupes. Then we went in our club and just sold everything we saw. And again, if you're watching this during Black Friday, there might be times where some managers are worth more than they are now, less than they are now. You might have things where players, all of a sudden, all bronze rares might be worth 500 coins 1 hour. Then the next, they're worth nothing. Always want to be paying attention to what comes out. We are degens, yes, sir. I'd like to think of it as that we're not degens. We are just committed. We respect the grind and we take it seriously. That makes me sound like less of a loser. Committed degens. True. We should be to the point as well with... I know there's another week that the continent SBCs are out. So America, Africa, Europe, yada yada. Some of those cards might have a little bit of value, the lower end ones. And if you notice something has a little bit more value, maybe save those as a top nation again. I'm just to the point where I don't really notice it, or it's not worth it to list those, especially if they only go for 200. But that's one of those things where it's completely your call. It's your transfer list. It's your filters. The more filters you put on, meaning the less stuff that you can make an SBC with, the less SBCs you're going to make. Potentially the more coins you could make too, depending on the situation. Thundershark's going to be so good. I can't wait, man. Like I said, I'm going to be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll be back at some point Sunday. There might be a very low % chance that I'm back Saturday. I'm not going to like advertise as that. Depends on what happens with the weather. If the weather's going to be bad, we might drive back early. Yeah, I will be at my aunt's house grinding off stream for sure. Spamming BPM, doing mixed league like crazy. And yeah, 100 plus cards in packs. Gonna pack like none of them, but it'll be fun. Now, can someone remind me, because someone earlier said, Footicon said that he thinks informs will be cheap during the promo, but it's after the promo they'll start rising in terms of an investment with them. There's a Sud dupe, so now we're starting to get to the point where we're going to live in Sud dupes, which pays for like the next 2 packs. W. Does anyone know like the numbers they got to last year? Because I know someone said they last year was it like 85 informs were like 11K at some point. That's my more of a I have it. I'll take as long as it takes to sell them. I'm in no rush. If I go to highest quick sell value and I go to my specials, I have some specials I'm still flipping. We have some higher rated informs, but also too, I got a crap ton of, I should have just put in informs, that'd be easier. Rarity, team of the week. I have a bunch of low end ones that I'm really wanting to hold on to because I feel like these are going to become more and more rare. Like 80 rated ones especially. This one we got for 9.9. How much is he going for? 14.5. 12.5. So if you are someone who hasn't been club stocked on these, what I would say is, let's say informs get as low as 11K. Or they get even lower than that during Thunderstruck. It might not be a bad move. Say if you're on Pale Tools, or even on console, just look at the ratings and pay attention to the ratings. Like right now, I can see what I have on Pale Tools or not. I know this is not necessarily BPM, but just ball knowledge if you want to learn a little bit. If I go to here, we go to, let's say, 11K. I don't know how much Team of the Weeks are going for. 11.5. Okay, 11.5 pretty quickly. You see mainly 84s there. A lot of 83s and 84s. But now look, we're to 1 minute. So what I can do is I can just go minute to minute. And whatever's not grayed out is what I don't have. You'll notice I basically have all these cards because a lot of these cards are from this week and the previous week. Very rarely do you see those 81 and underrated players. But when you do, they'll usually have a bit more value. So we'll just keep going through these. It's very nice when you can have a filter at a price where it doesn't sell instantly, but it doesn't take this many pages. Like if it's like 1 to 2 pages before you get to the 59th minute, I feel like that's perfect to do it with. Like right now, we'll just take the time to get to the 59th. There we go. There's an 80 rated player. Okay, I'm selling him too. So here's Bear. If we compare price on him, that one's 11.75, 12.75, some 11.75s there. But that's already to the card I'm looking at. Besides that one, it could be possible that you could lazy list these for 13K and they'd eventually sell. So you could just snipe at market price all those 81 rated and below cards. Put it in your club if you don't have it already. But even if you do have it, might not be bad flip ideas. And then the same with open bids. Whatever you can win them for an open bid, if you can get them under the buy now or around the same price as the buy now and lazy list, you'll be in a good spot. But again, I'm not seeing many of these low end ones. Which the high end ones will have additional value too. Like if you can get the 85s, 86s and stuff, W. Like here's Nabry. We didn't have him yet. 11.75 for an 85 rated. He goes for 2.25 at the end of the hour. We'll take that. Anything else we don't have? Costing dupe, but that would be a good one to pick up. So yeah, you can experiment that a bit. If Ping Pong is selling for 2,100, how much would you bid for it? Ping Pong. Are you like making fun of Fring Pong or something, or is there a dude actually named Ping Pong? And kind of my rule of thumb for 200s is if we can get 200 for a manager and it looks like there's not many on the market, I'll usually list it. But if there's pages and pages for 200, I'll usually just quick sell it. But also too, another indicator, these sort of cards here, if you ever see it where this buy now price goes from 250 to 200 for like the Saudi league or the Romanian league and they're lower now, that'd be my sign to just mass bid 150 on everything because it's the cheapest you can get them and it's still guaranteed coins. But if that goes up, let's say it goes to 300 to 350 again, you have all the ones that you've been club stocking from your pack bowls and all the bids that you got for 150 to 200 before that you're now selling for 100 to 150 coins profit. Some of them even doubling your coins on it. So my rule of thumb with dupe players is usually if I see 3 dupe players, I'll chuck them into a upgrade and then make a few more. But if it's like 1 or 2, I don't usually stop for that because I'm trying to get as many opened as possible. How much are Egyptian managers going for? Maybe 1,100. What are you doing with the Bronze Libertadores and Sudamericana? I'm going to sell them when I'm done with BPM for the day. So instead of constantly filling my transfer list with those, we wait to list them all together in bulk. That way we can open more bronze packs. But it also gives us the option too. If we get a crap ton of untradeable in bronze upgrades, and then we want to use some of the tradable ones we got to make a few more premium mix runs, it gives us the option to do that too. And since we're waiting to sell into the evening, Usually they're up a little bit more in value than they were earlier in the day. We make more coins per card, especially the rares. That allows us to justify using some of those tradables too. So like here's an example. There's not a crap ton of pages for 200. So that would be one that would eventually sell. Same here. Was Sweden up before for something? Japan's a little bit more. So we won't list that one. Georgia manager. Okay, so the one I listed for like 500 probably won't sell as much. We'll do 250 to 300 in the future. All right, let's do a few more bronze upgrades, and then we'll open these. Kind of show you what this looks like for League SBCs then. So again, I'm stopping once I get to the bronze rares, but until then, we'll keep spamming. And we're just sitting here for like 10 minutes, and this is already how much we've made. It's a fun grind, man. All right, we're officially to the rares, so I'm not going to submit those. How many do we have? We have 28 of these packs. So again, now this is where we benefit in multiple directions. First one, we get an inform, so although this is untradeable, the way I view this is value saved. So whenever there's an SBC we want to do, or whenever there's something that comes out that makes informs go crazy in price, for example, let's say this was Team of the Year. Remember last year during Team of the Year when we had the 82 plus times 20s, both variations, and informs skyrocketed? They went up crazy in price. I think some went to like 25 to 30K or something crazy like that. If you wanted to sit there and spam those unlimited, you either had to grind the Team of the Week upgrade SBC or you had to buy one off the market. So here's one that we already have a tradable one in the club, which we can make coins on. Now we have an untradeable dupe. And if we look at my dupes, you'll notice the trend. I have a crap ton of untradeable informs. So for me, I'm really trying to stockpile as many of these as I can from the perspective of anytime there's a repeatable that allows me to use these, or anytime there's like an icon SBC, instead of me having to actually actively spend coins on those, that's not only coin saved, it allows us to get the tradable packs from those sections even quicker. So if I'm doing, let's say, maybe not an Mbappe SBC, but let's say there's a jumbo gold pack tradable for a section of a player SBC that I want to get done, lib card right there, W, and it needs an 83 rated squad and an inform. I'll have so many untradeable cards that we can use for that where I won't pay a single penny to finish it. I get an additional tradable pack that, if you take BPM far enough like you're seeing now, is very easy to do. We'll do BPM into the bronze upgrades. We'll do that into League SBCs. You have marquee matchups each week that you could put a lot of these untradeable silvers in as well. We have Black Friday where there's going to be a ton of different flash SBCs. I'll give good tradable and untradeable packs. There's a grind for everything, man. And you'll notice a lot of these we already have dupes. We're getting a lot of lib and studs, which is nice. But a lot of these we already have a tradable or untradeable version in the club, which allows us to then go in and instead of just bronze upgrades, you'll see it in a sec. I know we did some before, so we might not have the most in the world, but we'll pop in some silver upgrades too. And the way we have it set is just off leagues, so none of my League SBC cards are going in this. No tradables are going in this. Any card in here is a dupe untradeable or an untradeable off league. Look at that. 3. We get a 4th. We got a 4th. W. So I get common gold player packs. Get a bunch more League SBC cards here, and then anything that's not a League SBC card can go into either more gold upgrades, or I can put them towards things like the daily 83 plus times 3s, where you need a full gold squad. So boom, second one done there. Another way we're making an untradeable pack into something tradable. Here's a 2 players pack tradable from that section. Got an MLS card, and then we got a Women's French League. Not the best in the world, but the other pack is a silver pack, which usually will get you a few thousand coins. So that's a W there. Do we have enough golds to finish the other one? Do it twice a day. No, not yet. So once we get enough to do that again, we can go do that. Now, usually I would just keep this going for a while. I'd turn on Netflix or something. I'd spam more of these while we're doing Netflix. And usually for me, I'm building League SBCs out either right before stream, so we have a few ready to go. Usually like 5 to 10 ready to go. Then we'll do another few on stream. That way we get like 10 to 15 a day. Another dupe. Lovely. 1,400. Again, those rares carry even more additional value. So when we're looking at the price fluctuation throughout the day, or things the lazy list, those things hold the most value to do that with. But yeah, at any point, if you notice, hey, I'm getting a bunch of, let's say, League 2 dupes, right? I don't want to just be quick selling these League 2 cards. I can go in here. I can put in a squad. I can field that. I can just chuck some of these in. So we got 2 rares, 70 rating. 70 rating still. Look, without a single gold in the squad, look at how many bronzes I'm able to get away with using. Okay, 67 now. Yeah, so that's what we can get away with. Okay, now we just need... I had it before. What was it? There we go. Let's move them around. Get some more chemistry, and then boom. Got a pack done. If I want to go in and finish the rest of these, I can. And again, if you're doing bronze upgrades, you'll notice I'm starting to get a ton untradeable. So you're not having to spend on every part of this. And the more you do the bronze upgrades, the more untradables you get, the cheaper this becomes. So you start winning at every step, basically. Get that one done. Romanian Saudi League, you already know the deal there. We're getting a ton. That's done. And then, is that the rest on tradables? It is. Beautiful. And voila, ladies and gentlemen, we just did a mixed league run in basically a minute. Let's just pull and go for 200 maybe. G'day, Mumbo. What's up, buddy? How you doing, brother? So we'll open these packs. We'll start the tradables. Left after EAFC 25, but I got 26 in the Black Friday sale. Just playing squad battles as the online rage is too much. Glad to see you rocking the same hat still. Love it. Hope you've been enjoying Sunderland's brilliant season. Dude, it's been amazing, brother. It's truly crazy how, one, they're back in the Premier League. That's impressive to begin with. But just how well they're doing right now. I know it's still early in the season. I'm not saying like, oh, European football. I still just want to not get relegated. But no one expected them to be as competitive as they already are. That's a cool thing to see. So yeah, man. Alright, anything crazy in those? What are we at right now? 31 minutes. Alright, boys. I think for the recording, we'll end the recording there. So if you guys did enjoy and you made it this far, smack that like button, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully this helped you kind of understand BPM a little bit more from different perspectives. Not only just opening a bronze pack and selling it in the front end, but how we can operate with the higher manager prices now, the fluctuation of League SBC card prices, the bidding, the sniping, the comparing price, whatever it is you want to do. There's a million ways you can make coins off these right now. If you're sitting on the sidelines not participating, you're missing out. But yeah, appreciate it. I'll see you next time. It's been your boy Mumble Elite. I'm out. God bless. All right, boys. Shall we continue grinding? Look at all the dupes I'm getting. Look at, see, this is what I'm talking about. Some are starting to go for 1,300 now. So if I would have listed these earlier, they would have been 1,100 to 1,200. Now we're starting to get 1,300 on these. A dupe lib as well. Ain't no way he's 3K. We'll take that, though, if he is. I'm struggling with Club Stock League SBC cards and make profit since all the bronzes and silvers are 200 coins. Which in particular are you saying are 200 coins? Because a lot of them are, but specifically the Saudi and Romanian ones, you can make a killing on open bid for 150s right now and sell for 250 plus. To Club Stock, get it ready to go, and then spam BPM for the rest. Or if you want to open bid on other sections, you can too, but not necessarily needed. Okay, how many Lib and Suds are we at now? We had, what, like 10 and 8 before, so like 18 total? I think. $14 and 24. Dang. Look at my coins too. So imagine selling all those Libs alone. What that would do to our coins. Not to mention all the other League SBC cards that we could continue to sell. Or to use in the SBCs. Wish they would increase the size of the transfer list to 150 or 200. That would be nice. For like 2 minutes. Then you'd have so many more cards listed on the market, and that'd affect value too, so. It's not all good or all bad. So yeah, you could go right now and bid on Romanian and Saudi League cards for 150 and make 100 plus coins per card. All right, so German's got some movement, got some motion. On console, he means, chat? How much are they going for on PC? How much are Saudi and Romanian leagues on PC? And again, the beautiful thing about listing the dupes is if I waited to do League SBCs, let's say I waited until a lot of these expired, and I did a run or two in the meantime. Look at these. These were dupes before. They're no longer dupes. So I can chuck those back into my club if I don't want to list them. Make more transfers from them. The Mixed League cards, most of them are min price. Like I just said, the first section is definitely not, and you can make extremely easy coins on them. We went over a filter earlier this stream. We're going to have it on the video for Friday. And we'll continue to do it now. But there are plenty of coins to be made on it. Yes, you are correct with maybe bronze commons for the Bundesliga 2 and Serie B. And the League 2 Hypermotion and the MLS Championship. But there are a lot that still have value. Bronze rares from Serie B. Bronze rares from Bundesliga 2. We were sniping them for 200 earlier and selling them for 350 plus. Still got a ton of these dupes that we're getting that will sell for 200 eventually. There's still coins to be made, brother. But if anything, you're proving another point that I don't think we even addressed too well yet. Our complaint now is League SBC cards are too cheap. So what does that mean from an SBC perspective if a lot of the things are too cheap? Like, that's not exactly what you said, but I'm going to rephrase it. Let's say someone said in chat, Mumbo, what do I do? Basically, every single League SBC section I can get done for 150 coins per player on most of them, with obviously some exceptions. Spam that League SBC like 100 times at those prices. That is just a money printer in bulk. Especially if you're club stocking. Other Brazil manager. What's Brazil at right now? 29. But Y2, does that make sense, brother? Or are you still a little confused? French manager. So another thing I'm paying attention to here is a lot of these are tradables. We have some untradables in each of these sections, but most of these are just tradable cards. So if we started calculating value of like 186 gold rares, if a majority of those were tradable, and then the commons, like the bare minimum price. The commons, bare minimum price for the silvers. The silver rares, the bare minimum price, even if we quick sold. Kind of get a yeah. So those are one for 200 before, but we'll go back to what I was saying with the Saudi League. So right now, I want you to try this. Obviously, the later we get, the harder it's going to be. We're already 5 hours after new content, so I definitely do this earlier in the day, but we'll use Saudi League as an example. We go to Saudi League right now. We go to 200 buy now. Things are selling within minutes. Go to 250. By the end of the hour, a lot of these will sell for 250. Not everything will sell. But if you went in and started mass bidding 150 on everything, even if you have to go a few minutes out like this, just start mass bidding 150 on everything, you'll be making 100 coins a card. Club stock them, sell dupes. If these go up in price, you can almost double your coins on them. Or you would be doubling your coins, because if they're going for 250 guaranteed, and they're selling for 300 within the hour, which if you're picking up a lot of these silvers, you'll probably end up getting 300 on a lot of these silvers anyways. Very easy way to make coins. But also if they stay at that same price, or they get a little lower even, they sell for 200, but they take a little bit to sell for 200. It's as cheap as the SBC can potentially get. You can win even more of them in bulk. So I would just be doing that nonstop, day to day. Always be checking those prices. And the cool thing with BPM, when you're club stocking and you're getting a lot of these dupes, you end up checking their prices anyways. I can see if a Saudi League card's going for more or less, and then off of that I can act accordingly. If I see everything's now starting to sell for 300 plus, or a lot of the dupes are 300 plus, I'll be like, okay, it's time to take all our club stock, the 100 plus cards we have in there that we picked up for 150. Let me just offload a bunch of them before I go to bed. Then in the morning, if they're cheaper again, I can pick them back up. Like, this is 250 with very limited supply. I feel like that will sell better. But again, you benefit either way. If they're not going for as much, you might view that as a negative, as you can't make as many coins per card. I view it in the opposite direction. If it's less expensive, it's cheaper to do the SBC. But also, it's an investment opportunity to pick more up. Does Saudi have value? They do not. For the managers. Then the next Romanian for 150 is at 9 minutes. First 150, 200 coin bid Saudi is at 10 minutes for the... Okay. What is the buy now price, Carlos, of the Saudi League and the Romanian League? If you go to 200 buy now, does everything sell for 200 buy now pretty quickly? $400. Okay. So you're complaining about not being able to win them for 150 to 200 when they're 400 plus is the minimum bid. Okay. You see what the problem is there? They have way more value to them on the PC market. So you're going to have to bid higher to potentially win them on bid consistently if that's your goal. But if you're spamming BPM, they have even more value. So you're getting even more value in your bronze pack. But on top of that, you can sit there and snipe as well. So I would sit there, and if they're all going for 400 pretty quickly, I'd sit at 300 and snipe everything. Sit there for like 5 minutes and see how many pop up for 300. And you sit there and snipe. Just want a couple at 250, there you go. Boom. Already making coins. Simple as that. Moment check at team of the week from last year in Footbin. It was after Black Friday they went up. I don't know how to do that though. check like last year's numbers. I love that Irish managers have value now. Just check. Again, I don't know how to check any of that. You'd have to walk me through step by step. You'd have to give me a player name. You'd have to remind me how to look up a 25 player versus a 26. I haven't used Footbin in ages. I've been on FootGG for like the past 2 years. Select the database of Footbin so you can see last year's. I don't even know where that is. Where's database? I'll just look at FC 25 players. Oh, it's Evos. What am I doing? We'll look at now we're on FC 26. What am I doing? EAFC 25 players. Yep, screw Footbin. Someone else do that. Yes, I know we were on Evos. Someone else want to look that up? Look up an inform from last year and see when they started to rise in price. So we're about to get under 1.6 mil. That's brilliant. So most profit you had on one single player this year. I just sold the Gomez that we picked up at min price for basically extinct price at 30K, but I sold that at 29.5 to be safe. For one of the new Evos. Because we club stock specials at as close to discard as possible. Probably that. Maybe a Pina tradable as well. Look how many Libin Sud cards we're getting, man. I'm telling you, in bulk is the way to go. Just so smooth. Okay, so not everyone's 1300 yet. There's still some that are 12. Look at all those players, too. Beautiful, man. Alright, we'll try Footbin one more time. If it doesn't load again, I'm just quitting altogether. Oh, I'm still looking at evolutions. What am I doing? Players. I physically can't operate Footbin. Players. EAFC 25 players. There we go. Woo! We're loaded. Alright, what's an inform that was out early? Can someone shout a name? Still taking ages to load anything. Zappa. Alright, we'll just type in Zappa. No Zappa. Means Zapata? None. Oh, that's the wrong thing we're looking. There we go. So this is an 86. This isn't going to be as good. You'd probably want to use a lower rated one to have a better idea. Because this will have the additional value of being... Wait, this came out in November? Why are we looking at one that came out in November? Why aren't we looking at one that came out earlier in the game? What are we trying to figure out? Because, yeah, they had the Team of the Year rise. Looks like the start of December they went to discard. For this guy, at least. So you had on... Looks like they started crashing. So that people sold before the start of Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Elder. Dude, I physically can't take this site. It's so bad. Okay, here we go. So this follow the same track. Got expensive earlier on in November like it is now. It was like relatively 15K, 16K. Black Friday came. They dropped during Black Friday throughout Thunderstruck and then started rising after that. So, yeah, if you guys were going to do a play, it seems like selling before Thursday and Friday. And then picking them up again at the end of Thunderstruck as we go into December. Alright, we'll look up that one last player. Lauren. Through 82. All. Just came out early. Same thing. We get into the week of the promo before it comes out. That Wednesday, that Thursday, so Thanksgiving, the day before Black Friday, they start crashing. Into Black Friday, they crash. Through that weekend, they crash. Then they hit a low point that midweek, and then they go back up. So, if you guys were going to do a move like that, it seems like getting rid of them like Wednesday, Thursday would be what makes the most sense. Any questions with that? Anyone still confused on anything, or? It's because of the best of promo? Yeah. You have all the best of cards and packs. And people are spamming packs, tradable. I love it. So, fun fact. Marseille beat Newcastle tonight in the Champions League. That might just seem like a random thing. But Cairo Louis-Dreyfus, Sunderland's owner, he's like 27 years old. When he was a kid and his dad was still alive, his dad owned Marseille. And so he grew up going to every Marseille game, meeting all the players, all the legends, the icons, yada yada. No longer had the club when the dad died. Went to go support Marseille against Newcastle today. And then they beat Newcastle. Beautiful. Silver Rare Top League Nations, goodbye for Black Friday. Yep, I'll be making our video for tomorrow. So I'm going to go record that soon. You guys pay attention to our investments in that video. We'll show you kind of a rundown of everything we're looking at. But yeah, dudes, I'm going to go record that. I'm going to go finish packing because we leave early in the morning. Again, this is the last live stream you're going to see for me until probably the end of the weekend. So, have a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Have a good Black Friday, everyone. Hopefully, you guys make some good coins. Any preview of the video before you leave? Not really. I don't know the script I'm going to use yet. And I got to take care of some stuff beforehand. So, we're not going to record it this second, probably. I'll finish my coffee, put some clothes away. But take care, guys. God bless. Have a good night. We will see you guys with 2 video uploads. Wednesday and one Friday. We'll be back Sunday. Take it easy. Peace.